Okie dokie. Passing notes. Find the notes. Requisition for weapons. With the right materials found, weapons for the Inquisition can be requisitioned through the quartermaster. Logging stand I need. Passing notes. The apothecary mentioned that his master, Tegan, was working on something special before he died at the conclave. Find Tegan's notes. Okay, well, for now, I'm just going to go around and talk to peeps. Okay, that's your world map right there. My location is here. Colin, Josephine. Oh yeah, war room. I'm gonna kind of just try to communicate with everybody I can in this general area before going back.
Mages and Templars were already at war. Now they're blaming each other for the Divine's death.
Which is why we require a proper authority to guide them back to order.
Who? You? Random clerics who weren't important enough to be at the Conclave?
The Rebel Inquisition and its so-called Herald of Andraste? I think not.
Why can't we work together?
So far, you're the only one who's insisted we can't work together.
We might, if your Inquisition would recognize the Chantry's authority.
There is no authority until another Divine is chosen.
In due time, Andraste will be our guide, not some dazed wanderer on a mountainside.
Remind me, why are you allowing the Chancellor to stay?
Clearly, your Templar knows where to draw the line.
He's toothless. There's no point turning him into a martyr simply because he runs at the mouth. The Chancellor's a good indicator of what to expect in Val Royeaux, however.
How widespread is the violence between mages and Templars?
Impossible to say.
Your organization flouting the Chantry's authority will not help matters.
With the Conclave destroyed, I imagine the war between mages and Templars is renewed with interest.
The mages and Templars are fighting, even though we don't know what really happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
Exactly why all this should be left to a new Divine. If you are innocent, the Chantry will establish it as so.
Or we'll be happy to use someone as a scapegoat.
You think nobody cares about the truth? We all grieve Justinia's loss.
But you won't grieve if the Herald of Andraste is conveniently swept under a carpet.
I'll make sure they see reason in Val Royeaux.
I pray you're right. I will keep the peace, while you and the others appeal to the Chantry in Val Royeaux.
Better ready yourself for the blame you will be rightly assigned.
Okay, now that I've talked to that person, now we can talk to Colin. Let's go down here and talk to Josephine, I guess. I don't know what that is either. Manabe.
Too many wounded, and not enough bandages to go around.
Oh, she's probably in the... What the heck? Alright.
For she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her path.
Caryodon will have more poultices for the injured as soon as
Greetings,
possible,
Herald of
Renee.
Andraste.
She
How
who
fares
sees
your quest to
fire
seal
and
the
go
breach?
towards light.
I'm doing everything within my power.
A task, such as closing the breach, is a heavy burden. I hope you do not carry it alone. We remember Andraste, but Andraste did not carry the Chant of Light alone. She had generals, advisors, even her husband for a time. Do everything within your power, but remember those who would help you.
Well, thank you, young lady.
I appreciate your insight, Mother Giselle.
Take it for whatever it is worth. You walk a difficult path, and there is little enough I can do to aid you. In any case, I pray this Inquisition proves less brutal than its predecessor.
Can you tell me about the original Inquisition?
The original Inquisition was formed after the First Blight, well before the Chantry as we know it. The Inquisitors were hunters, zealots, who tracked and killed cultists and dangerous mages. As Andraste rose to power, the Inquisition came into her service. Instead of hunting those who would do harm, the Inquisitors spread the chant of light by force.
It must be difficult to follow the chant of light knowing how it spread.
Indeed. I have always believed that the Maker wished us to spread the chant of light by example, not violence. In any case, once the chant of light had spread far and wide, there was less need for zealots. The Inquisitors became the seekers of truth, and eventually the Templars.
This is a dark chapter of history for the Divine to revisit.
Do you know what impresses me most about the original Inquisition? They fought horrific battles, killed and died for their cause, and when it was time, they put their swords away. Perhaps the name was divine, Justinia's message, that when the Inquisition is needed, it will strike without mercy. But when its work is done, it will put its sword away.
I don't believe I've had the chance to speak candidly with a revered mother. Can you tell me about the Chantry?
I presume you mean deeper questions about the organization itself. I trust the Chantry at Ostwick taught you the basics.
What is your stance on magic?
Andraste put it simply. Magic must serve man, not rule over him. However, those words must be put into the proper historical context. Andraste led a rebellion against the Tevinter Imperium, whose magisters controlled most of the world at the time. Even then, she never called for all mages to be put to death. She believed in peaceful coexistence.
What does this mean?
I don't recall the Chantry being as tolerant of magic as you describe.
No. The Chantry is an imperfect vessel, pulled in every direction by those who would steer its course. Yet the Templars rebelled precisely because divine Justinia was not restrictive enough. Perhaps the Inquisition will find a better way.
Why does the Chantry allow only human women to become priestesses?
The official doctrine is that elves and dwarves have turned further from the Maker than humanity. And as for men, the chant holds that they are more vulnerable to anger or passion. But in truth, it is simply political, added after Andraste's death, like too many of our beliefs.
If you don't believe these restrictions are what Andraste wanted, why haven't you tried to change them?
Has the current state of the world not taught you the folly of fighting too many battles at once? I chose to use what power I had to help peasants forgotten by the nobles of Orlais. I believed there would be time to address their inequality under the Chantry once we had saved them from starving.
There were calls for an exalted march to put down the Mage Rebellion. What was your opinion?
It was ignorant gossip. An exalted march only succeeds when it carries the will of the people. Even then, it cannot be undertaken lightly. People are too easily frightened. We cannot destroy everything they fear. An exalted march is justified only against a true threat to this whole world. It is an offense to the Maker to use it as a political bludgeon, or as a means of spreading the chant of light.
What about the exalted march that conquered the elves?
That is a hotly debated matter in some circles of the Chantry. The elves had conquered Mont-Semard and threatened Val Royeaux itself. They were not helpless victims. But even then, Orlais was the only nation to provide troops. It was hardly an exalted march of all the faithful. The Maker wishes his world to spread by example, not by war. We win no converts with blood.
Okay.
Farewell.
Alright, I need to figure out what all those symbols mean. Because there's like there's a bunch of different symbols here. Okay. I think I'm trying to look it up on the internet and I'm not seeing. These look different, so I'm assuming that these would be from the older Dragon Age, so I'm going to try to find it in the codex, but it's just probably so fucking deep that who knows. Characters, crafting, creatures, group, letters, magic, tutorials maybe? I don't know. Status effects, Inquisition camps, ocular and world travel, war table, tactical camera, search, researcher, fade rifts, mounts. Oh my gosh, this is just so freaking huge. Potion upgrading, crafting. No, that's not it. Maybe characters, codex. Yeah, these are all just actual characters. Need to actually know how to speak with people. Because I keep on getting all these different images pop up, and I don't want to piss somebody off. Nor do I don't want to miss opportunities, but I don't want to make somebody angry. So I don't understand what these damn different symbols mean. And I wish somewhere on the damn internet I could figure it out. Dragon Age Inquisition, dialogue, user blog. Dragon Age symbols. Wow. There is just so much stuff on here. This is not going to make for the greatest video in the world, but you know what? I don't know. Questioning. Huh. Okay, well, let's go into here. Talk to Josephine.
May I have a moment?
Yes, Ambassador?
I'd like to discuss your parents.
Ooh.
Little sudden, but it's time someone made an honest man of me.
What? Very amusing. This is serious. I'd like to dispatch a courier asking the bands of House Trevelyan to align themselves with us. What are your thoughts? Should we approach your family for their formal support of the Inquisition?
I'll do it.
If that's what you want, I'll send a letter to my family. They'll respect the request if it comes from me.
Wonderful. That will save time. Val Royeaux has noted your lineage. It gives the Inquisition some legitimacy, although not so much as we'd hoped.
Why not?
You are from Ostwick. Orlesian nobles consider the three marches